feel free to psychoanalyze that, that's fine.
Hello, Happy New Year. I told you I was gonna start vlogging as soon as I woke up this morning. And so here I am. It is the first day of the year. Obviously, I woke up at 7:45. I feel like I have enough things that I want to do today that I kind of need to be like up and at them a little bit, but not so many that today will be just like so busy, I think. First, I'll take the time to like make breakfast, drink coffee, and then we can settle in together to talk about how 2024 goals are starting today.
Driving down the road that I grew up on once again. It's when I pass your door, the memories come back again.
Honestly, the thing that I'm most excited about is looking at my storygraph reading wrap. They released them on January 1st. I haven't even opened the app yet today, but I did finish the 2 books I was trying to yesterday, so I believe my final total is 124 books for 2023. But let me screen record. This is my Roman Empire all year. Congratulations on a great reading year. You finished 123 books across 43,518 pages. That's crazy. The first book that I finished in the year was Nicholas Sparks' The Wish. The last book that I finished in the year was Bye Baby, which I finished literally yesterday on the treadmill. A mood map. Lighter books push the line up and darker books pull the line down. That's kind of funny because last year this mood map did like a, I guess I'll do it the way you see it. In I think it was like September or something like that, so a little more even this year. That's nice. You rode a roller coaster of emotions, unraveled intricate mysteries, and were gripped by suspense, and most of the stories developed at a steady pace. So this is my books and pages read per month. Congratulations on meeting your reading goal, which was 100 books. So 123, definitely did it. The genres you spent the most time with: contemporary, mystery, thriller, romance, literary. I feel like I have a pretty diverse, like I don't just dive all into one genre, and so that reflects that there. Longest book, Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. Yeah, checks out. That's a long book. Shortest book, Busted by Karen Slaughter. That was like one of her little novellas. I feel like it was like 45 minutes or, oh, it literally says it was 2 hours audiobook. So listening to it sped up. Shorter than that audiobook, which is quite short. The average length of books you read was 344 days, and it took you around 7 days to finish each book. Least time spent was 1 day. Most time spent 102 days. That must be because I like picked it up and had to return it to the library or something and just kept it being like currently reading on my storygraph, and then whenever, because that's literally a 70-page book, like that would be less than a page a day, and I know I just like sat down and read it. The authors I spent the most time with in 2023, Karen Slaughter. That's because I read like that whole series, and so that definitely adds up. There were several novellas in there too, so not all full-length books. Beverly Cleary, I listened to all of the Ramona Quimby books this year, so that added up. And then Frederick Bachman, I hadn't read any of his books before this year. I read Beartown for the first time in January of this year, and I just dove in, obviously. Actually, I read Anxious People, but I feel like that's an outlier of his books. 2023's average rating was 3.63. I feel like that's pretty good. Like that's a very good book. 2023 5-star reads. I feel like it's missing some. I don't know which ones it's missing. Or maybe not. Maybe others were just like 4.75 or something like that. Notice how Beartown and Us Against You are 5 stars twice. 2023 ratings as a whole. Some months are better than others. In June, this is so true because whenever I went to Costa Rica, it was just like hit after hit when I was reading books. So average was 409 stars. Turns out November wasn't your favorite month with an average rating of 3.06. November put me in a little reading slump because all of the books I just like wasn't loving. Most read pages was February, which is cute because it's the shortest month, 6,587. That's whenever I listened to all of the Ramona Quimby books, among other things, but like that was a dedication. And those aren't too many pages, but like there's 8 of them, so they add up. Other storygraph users, Andrew 2023 reads, most shelved, Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. Makes sense. Least shelved, Double Indemnity. That book was so weird. It was just like one that I was browsing Libby and I was like, audiobooks available now, and usually then I sort by popularity to like see books that I like have heard of or know or want to read. And I think to find this one, I sorted by release date. So I was just like reading the synopsis and I was like, sure, I'll read that. No, it was weird. Highest rated March book 3. That's an awesome book. It's a graphic novel that is part written by John Lewis, but it like goes through John Lewis's life and like movements and work, and there's 3 books. So this is the 3rd one, but each of them are graphic novels, and it's an awesome series. You explored the works of 65 new authors. 61 of the books you read were part of a series, and you revisited a total of 7 books this year. Checks out, because I revisited Harry Potter's 1 through 5, and then I revisited Beartown and Us Against You within the same year. You decided not to finish 12 of the books you picked up this year. Let's see what my DNFs were. Maybe you should talk to someone. This was just wrong time. It's not that I'm never gonna read it. It was just wrong time that I started it and couldn't finish it. I think I want to listen to it instead of read it. The 10,000 Doors of January, I just remember being so confused, and I was like, I don't want to spend any more brain energy on this. Inciting Joy essays. The essays just like weren't that joyful. Like I wanted to feel good. I wanted a smile on my face. I wanted a warm flutter in my heart, and it was not giving me that. The Book of Charlie. I'm not even sure I know what that is. Storygraph doesn't. City of Girls. That was another one I was just listening to. I was so confused. Ninth House, I actually made it quite a ways in before DNFing. I just like was not into it. It just felt like it kept going, and I wasn't into it. Demon Copperhead, I read like 4 pages maybe, and it was just so long, and I needed something that was quicker moving and not as long at that time. Atalanta, I thought it was gonna be some sort of like retelling. See, all of these are like, I thought it was gonna be something different than it was. I thought it was gonna be some sort of like retelling of a Greek myth, but really it's just like, it was the Greek myth, you know? I don't remember starting Blindsided, so can't tell you anything. Just another missing person. I was so disappointed in this one. It was Jillian McAllister's new release this year, so I was so excited because I loved Wrong Place, Wrong Time, but this one was so slow. I'm considering like I might listen to it later. It was just so slow in the beginning, and it was like I already could tell what the book was gonna be, kind of. I felt like, I mean, it could have caught me by surprise, but Don Quixote I will be reading. It was sitting on my currently read without me making progress in it for so long that I marked it as DNF, but I will be reading that eventually. And Rising Strong, I don't know why I DNF. It probably was just another wrong time for it type thing. You read 17 books from your own shelves this year. Cute, love that. And then 2023 at a glance. Oh, look at all my little books. Cute. Like I said, I've been looking forward to that. I am gonna start working on editing the video that is posting today, and we'll catch up once I'm done. It's a lot in front of me. A lot of editing.
Pictures of us flooding back just like a wave. Makes me wonder what happened, what you're up to date. Remember when we stole your mother's car, we drove for days.
I feel like we have a lot of logistical things to do on January 1st so that I can like know all that I'm trying to do. The video for today is now exporting, so that is a big step in the process of having it ready to go. And I want to talk about the focuses for January, because in the video that I did my vision board and set goals for 2024, I talked about my overall goals for the year, but then it feels very important to like narrow those down into achievable, actionable steps each month. And I definitely won't focus on like every goal every month, but there are some that we can get started on in January. So I'll record my little screen so we can see it together. January goal action plan, I guess we can call this. The goals that I'm wanting to focus on in January, let's see, I forgot how to bullet point on here, so I'll just do that. Relearning Spanish is something that is a goal for 2024 that I want to focus on in January. Trying a dance studio, we'll take some action steps in January. Read 100 books, we'll definitely take some action steps in January. For the health and wellness goals, the consistency, we obviously are going to kind of be working on, but then part of that is going to be the training for the half marathon. So running the Hilton Head half, and contribute to my Roth IRA. We're starting just right in the beginning of the new year. And then for YouTube, the goal of 15K subscribers obviously means that I need to have a plan for YouTube. But I want to subscribe if there's nothing to subscribe to, you know? With all of those, I'm going to do January 1st to-do list. Cute. I'm gonna keep it italicized because I like italics. First, just the things that I know I'm gonna have to do today. Run 5 miles is my workout for the day. Pick up Zach from the airport. And then I was hoping to have just like every type of organization cleaning thing in the apartment done by the time Zach got back, just as like a fun present, a fun treat. And I have quite a few things done, but there's still some things that I don't think I'm gonna get done before he gets back, but that's fine. But put away laundry is constantly on the to-do list, but I haven't, remember whenever I was doing all the laundry because I got back home from the holidays, I haven't put any of that away. And I think there was even a load that we did before we left that I haven't put away. So there's a huge mountain of laundry that just needs to get put where it goes. Put away laundry and clean the bathroom. I want to organize like where my toiletries are, wipe down the bathroom counters, just like make things work better in there. And then create thumbnail for today's video. The one that's going up on January 1st. The one that's exporting right now. It needs a thumbnail. So those are all on the to-do list. Just regular. But looking now at our January goal action plan, my first step in relearning Spanish is I'm just gonna start with Duolingo. I feel like that's achievable, that's doable. I have done Duolingo in the past, but this morning I deleted my data from it because whatever I've done in the past, I don't remember. And so at some point today, I'll do their little like test to see, you know, where I'll start in the Duolingo process. So start Duolingo, with the goal in that being, let's see, okay. Maintain Duolingo streak for 31 days. I feel like that's a good way to start. You know, we're gonna have to amp it up. I can't just do Duolingo, I don't think, for the whole year and really become comfortable in Spanish, but that's a good place to start. Dance studio, I think I already know which class I first want to attend, and I think it's this upcoming Saturday. So I'll just need to finalize the schedule for that. I'll say, yeah, create ballet schedule for the month, just of the classes that I'm trying to go to, because honestly, until I run my half marathon, it's gonna be kind of here and there based on my schedule of like when I can go to the different classes that they offer, because it changes each week, which is kind of annoying for me. Like I change each week, they're the same. But after my half in February, I think I can just start going to the same class every week and make it be a routine. So I need to create ballet schedule for the month, and then on my to-do list, register for first ballet class. Isn't that exciting? I'm very excited about that. Read 100 books. I'll say work on my January TBR, which I already have a list of. So in the effort of today's video, we'll do, I'm gonna say film, show the vlog, January's TBR. I have several different like reading challenges I'm doing in the year that I'm excited for. So I kind of just like curated a monthly TBR based on that. Consistency, run the hill and head half. For the month, the goal for that will be do the runs I'm supposed to do. But as far as today's to-do list, for that, I think I'm gonna create some sort of like journal spread, check off plan that can help me stay organized and like motivated in doing the runs. So create running plan journal spread. This is a lot for today. I don't know if I'll get all of these done today. Contribute to my Roth IRA. That's not gonna have anything today specifically, but I do have a transfer that I'm making from my savings account that won't appear in my account until tomorrow, so like I can't do anything for it today, but I'm just contributing everything that I can for the year right up front so that then I can just build back up my savings account instead of in chunks contributing to my Roth. It just makes it feel easier for me. It just makes it feel like, okay, it's done. Make, what's it called when you, like, there's a word that's contribute, but it's just like transfer amount to Roth account. And then for 15K subscribers, I'll just say January goal action plan, post once a week is the goal. Plan, look at me being fancy, plan Q1 videos, quarter one videos. And so the to-do list for YouTube for today was create the thumbnail for today's video, like I already said, edit tomorrow's video, because we're still in our daily uploads. And then I honestly have quite a few of the January videos already planned, and that it's mostly vlogs. So it's easy to just be like, oh, I'll vlog from this day to this day, and we'll just kind of see what happens in those days. So all of that being said, January to-do list wrapped up, probably in this order. Run 5 miles. I need to just get up and do that, have it done. I need to plan my route and just go. Because remember, I'm not asking myself questions this year. So it's not, oh, Anna, do you feel like running right now? No, you have to run 5 miles. I'm so good at being nice to myself. I'm so bad at tough loving myself. Zach gets in around 1:30, so I should have some time between running and picking him up. And so in that time, I'll start doing the other things that the day calls for. That feels good to have that in words. I'm gonna get ready to run. Wearing all black like this makes me feel like a Kardashian. I am probably physically a lot more ready to go run than I am mentally. I've decided on my route, I think. Let me think back through it. Uh-oh, I forgot my route. I remember my route again. We're good. Gotta get a good start to the new year. I really need to make whatever like journal spread checklist I'm gonna make, because I feel like that's gonna be like, if I knew that I could get home and check that off, it would make me feel so much more excited right now. Feel free to psychoanalyze that, that's fine. I'm just having this mental block right now since I've been less consistent, but that is why the goal for the new year was consistency. So we gotta be consistent, and remember, I'm not asking myself questions. Do I feel like running? We don't even get to ask. I don't know. I'm not asking, because I'm gonna go run. My outfit though is honestly what I usually been wearing to run club since it's kind of cold out. My flip belt thermal leggings to keep my legs nice and warm while also having lots and lots of storage. And they're always linked in my description box. Underneath, I have my Lulu Swiftly Tech long sleeve. And then over top, I think this is Run Rulu quarter zip, maybe is what it's called, but it's also Lululemon. But I appreciate it. Honestly, I should get more of these. I appreciate it because you can cover your hands, which is very nice. Really love that. Especially whenever you need light layers, because like it's cold, but I'm not gonna be as cold once I actually start running. But before I warm up, I'm gonna be very cold. So it's a hard balance. Let's go. Woo!
Teenagers with too many feelings and rage. We were higher than the ceiling, middle fingers to the sky. I remember thinking if I only could stop the time. Way back when.
I sped clean, and now I'm about to go pick up Zach. His flight got a little bit delayed, but just like 10 minutes, nothing crazy. Everything's not clean like to the point that I wanted it to be, but I feel like it was good motivation of like, okay, I only have 45 minutes or so between finishing my shower and needing to leave for Zach, and so what can I, speed do, see what I get done in that 45 minutes. It was cleaning. I'm dropping off some books in the library on the way to the airport because they're due in a couple days, and I'm just not gonna make it there, I don't think, if I don't go right now. So, oh, he might have just texted me. He landed, I gotta go.
We didn't care what they said. People could stare. I didn't give a damn, 'cause I was being next to you. Way back when, we didn't care what they said. People could stare.
I've made a good dent in things so far. I was just looking to see if I could cross anything else off my list. I did restart Duolingo. I did my first day of Duolingo, so that's big. I made the Amazon order that I've been meaning to make. I got one of those like soap savers that you can put in a shower because my little sister has one, and it seemed very beneficial whenever I was just home. There's some brighter lighting for us. But I got one of those soap savers. I got a portable car battery jumper. I got a lamp that can go in this room for whenever I read. So a couple of things that I think it's coming like Saturday or so. I have a plan for my running journal spread, but I haven't made it yet. I'm about to show you January's TBR, so that I'll just go ahead and check off a little early. I registered for my first ballet class. That'll be this upcoming Saturday too, which I'm very excited for. And then as you saw, I also made dinner. But so there's a couple reading challenges that I'm like loosely doing this year, just kind of to give inspiration and for it to be fun more so than like really trying to complete. But one of them, Books and Lala, does a buzzword-a-thon, which is like a word for each of the 12 months that you just pick a book that has the word in the title, or like that category of word in the title. So I'm doing that one. I'm doing Read, Watch, Drink Coffee is her Instagram handle. I honestly don't keep up with her like account as much. She's a bookstagram, but she makes a reading challenge that is on Storygraph. That's how I found it. That's just 4 books a month that has like different prompts, kind of like whenever people do like, oh, TBR jar, prompt jar picks my TBR or something like that. It's just kind of like those types of prompts. So I think it's fun. And then lastly, Storygraph has like a Storygraph Reads Around the World challenge that has various different countries. That's the challenge to read something from one of those countries. And then I also like am loosely challenging myself to just make sure that I read books that I own in each month instead of only using the library and just like not having read most of the books on my shelf. So with all of that being said, the first book that I want to read this year is Heartstopper Volume 5. If I get this video nice and edited tonight. I might read that tonight. That one you would have seen in yesterday's video. But then Read, Watch, Drink Coffee's prompts was a new purchase or release. This is not a new release, but it is a new purchase to me. I bought it at the bookstore a couple weeks ago. The Institute by Stephen King. At this point, I've still only read one Stephen King book. It was The Green Mile. I thought it was next to me. It's not. I moved it. I don't know much about The Institute. I have heard from a couple friends that they enjoyed it when they read it. It's a thick one, so it's kind of intimidating. Next is a book you're most excited for, Wildfire by Hannah Grace, just because I liked Icebreaker so much, and this is number 2 in that universe, in that world. And so I'm very excited for it. This one I have on hold at the library that I think is ready to pick up. But the next prompt is a feel-good read, and I'm going to read The Door-to-Door Bookstore by Karsten Henn. I honestly don't really remember what it's about. I'm sure I'll tell you as I'm reading it. But it also, and let me check before I say this, it also satisfies the Germany prompt for the storygraph reads around the world. And then last for the Read, Watch, Drink Coffee is a new to you author. And so for that one, I picked Their Vicious Games by Joelle Wellington, just because I've heard so much about that book and I haven't read anything by that author yet. But that's another one that's going to be at the library, so I don't have it physically with me quite yet. And then of the books that I already own that I wanted to challenge myself to read this month, because with that, then if I like a book, I like to keep it. But if I don't like a book, I don't really want to keep owning it and having it take space on my shelf. Starting with 5 Tuesdays in Winter. This is a collection of short stories that honestly, I just thought the cover was beautiful and that's why I got it. I don't really know much about it. I do have one other book by this author that I just also haven't read. But yeah, it's just a collection of short stories, and I think the like theme kind of pulling it all together is just like humanity and like getting to know characters. We'll have to see though. These next 2 are books that I won on Goodreads a while ago at this point and just haven't read. One is One Woman's War by Christine Wells. It came out in October of 2022. But I talked about how I want to get more into historical fiction because I always like historical fiction whenever I do read it. And so that is one that it's like, it's literally on my shelf and I haven't read it, so I need to read that. And the next is You Truly Assumed by Layla Sabrine, which I also think the cover is just so beautiful. I don't really know the premise of the book, but I'm sure I'll learn once I read it. It does not feel real to me that I go back to work tomorrow. I do need to sit down and edit this whole video. If you're seeing this video on a Tuesday, that means I really worked my butt off editing. If you're seeing this video on a Wednesday, that means I had to take it a little bit slower. But this is the last video in our little daily uploads. I feel like I'm gonna miss y'all once I'm not uploading literally every day. But I hope you enjoyed this little span. It definitely is work, but also it definitely is worth it. So if it's something that you want to happen, even if it's just like twice a year or something like that, definitely let me know and I'll make an effort for it to come true. But I love ringing in the new year with you. I love spending my first day of the new year with you. This is like very close to real time. And my plan is to return back to regularly scheduled content. Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern is when videos post. It's very helpful to me if you turn on your post notifications, just like in stats and engagement and everything. So if you want to click that little bell, turn on your post notifications so you never miss a post from me. I hope you had a great first day of your new year. I'm cheering for you always, and I'll see you Sunday.